Hey you guys, it's me Rachel here with Senza Tempo Cane Corso. Long time no see, but I got my reasons. So, saw people starting to check on me and I just wanted to I knew it was time, but I had to take some time for myself. October was a really rough month for me. I had some really amazing things happen and I had some really horrible things happen. And I just really did not have it in me to upload. But I'll talk to you about it now. So I had this dog named Benzino. He was a bully like this one here, but different lines and stuff like that. You know, I was building up my kennel. And he was one of the dogs that I bought. And he had a prolapse of his behind. I'm always scared to say certain words because I don't want for people to, not people, YouTube to have a problem or whatever. She's got a bunch of stuff stuck to her down here. There you go. And so anyway, his something that can happen with them is that they can have a prolapse of the rear end of the dog. And I got it fixed. They stitched it up, put it back in, and kind of just let me know that, you know, it may or it may not stay. And it did not stay. And in fact, when it came out, it was even worse. And I had to put the dog down. And that was like really hard to do because these bullies are just so sweet. They're just so loving and playful and just they're really wonderful dogs. I'm very attached. And so that was a really hard thing to do. And when I contacted the breeder, you know, he really didn't care. And in fact, when I told him that the vet said that it was like a genetic thing and not to breed the dog, he was like, well, you know, vets will always say that. And you guys know that for myself, even that I've often had criticism towards vets and kind of some of the stuff that they say or whatever. But to me, that is like a no-brainer. That's just like a, you know, we go out of our way not to breed animals that could potentially have hazards, whether it be hip dysplasia, whether it be blindness or deafness or like whatever, right? And the idea that you would breed an animal that would be susceptible to something like that, to me, is honestly a bridge too far. And it very much disturbed me. And then I had another dog. I had to put down Brienne, which is Latan's sister. She ended up having really bad hip dysplasia, and you guys know that I'm not like, I've rehomed dogs that were dysplastic before. I think if there's a potential for a dog to live a life and maybe they're just a little handicapped, then that's fine. A hip can be replaced, but not both hips. And on top of that, she just had this like a mean streak in her where she would go after dogs. And you guys know, like, I work with my dogs. I'm always out here with them and stuff like that. But she went after Jolene, and then she went after Panda, and Panda is like a little bully. And I just realized that I could not put her in a home with people who had dogs. And I felt like the right thing to do was to just put her down. And I did talk with my vet about it, and she agreed. And so we did that. And, hey, don't you try to run away from me, Smurf. Put it down. Memphis. No. Memphis. Oi. Shh, put it down. Now, drop it. You had to get tough on him. He wasn't listening. Look what they've done. Bastards. Anyway, so didn't want to have to do it. So it's just been a hard month. And I think that those are just some of the things that that are a part of my job, you know what I mean? And I hate it. And it's just the worst part of my job. It's one of the worst parts of my job, and I just don't like having to do it. It takes a lot out of me emotionally. And then I just had a lot go on. So Ibiza had her puppies, and I will get y'all a video. She had 12 puppies, but she had one that we didn't know that was inside of her that was dead, and it was really big, and we tried to get it out. We did the best that we could, and we could not get it out. And so we had to take her to the vet. She had to have a cesarean. Then she got an infection. So it was very touch and go with her for about 2 weeks. She's fine now. We had to put her on a pretty strong antibiotic, but she's fine now, and puppies are fine. So, and then Nautica, I think that at some point she got like tick-borne illness, and so I was treating her, and she's made a full recovery, but it's just been kind of like one thing after another. If you could imagine that literally being in a month of time, all of those things happening. And then the good thing is that I met a man that I feel that I have a genuine future with. And that's been very exciting, but also equally scary. And so it's just been a whirlwind. I feel like I've hardly been able to catch my breath. And it's just been like a roller coaster ride. And I'm physically and emotionally exhausted. Because I really was trying to be better about doing videos and all that stuff. And one of the things that I've learned about YouTube is that it's not a place for me to talk about when things go wrong. I wish that I could share with you guys in those moments when it's happening, but unfortunately there are a lot of really evil people. We call them haters, we call them trolls or whatever, that they feed off of the pain of others. And I could not allow them to in any way affect my peace. And so I didn't want to talk about it. And I don't care now because I'm over it now. So I can tell y'all now and know that they're going to do what they always do. And that's fine. And in fact, I mean, with what happened, I'm sure many of you know, maybe you don't know about Peanut and the raccoon. And I don't want to make any kind of false claims. I never watched them. I only recently found out about what happened. So I can't even tell you the name of the raccoon. But I know that what happened is that people on the internet made complaints and basically were like, they shouldn't be able to have those animals. Basically, haters doing what haters do. And they caused the death of those two animals and the suffering of the millions of people who had grown to love them. And I hope that people pay attention to that, because that's what I got. I know a lot of people are mad at the authorities, but the reality of the situation is that the authorities are doing what the authorities do, and they're only doing what we've given them the power to do. But the people that snitched, the people that told, those are the evil people. Those are the ones that caused that to happen. And so I want all of you, when you see people on the internet being haters, acting like they always pretend like they care. They always act like they're the good ones, okay? That's what they do. They always act like they're just concerned about the best interest of whatever it is that they're interested in. But they're evil people, and they cause pain and suffering everywhere they go, because they themselves are just awful people. And all of us have the potential to be awful people. You know what I mean? It takes bad circumstances, bad situations, and then not dealing with it and letting it get the best of you, and you let it rot away at who you are, and you just become this awful person. And I actually have a tattoo. One of my tattoos on my wrist is about that, and it's a heart with wings, and it's got an angel wing and it's got a devil wing. And And the reason for it was because, I struggled. I had a really awful childhood, and I struggled with making good choices. You know what I mean? I've never portrayed myself to be a perfect person. I've only ever portrayed myself to be a person who's made mistakes in life and lived a life that I want to live a better life. And I do my best to make good decisions. And while I'm not perfect, no one is. I'm always striving to do my best. And that's what it has to be. You know what I mean? When you have a life like that, you have to choose, because as the tattoo on my arm is that everyone has the ability to be good and to be bad. Everyone, every day of your life, you make a decision, and every choice that you make, whether or not you're going to make the right choice or the wrong choice, if you're going to be a good person or a bad person, if you're going to live in fear or you're going to live in faith. And the people that turned them in are people that are bad people. And they probably think they're great people. Just like my haters think they're great people. They think that they're doing the right thing, always trying to come for me and this and that or whatever. And they feel justified. But the reality is that they're just evil, vile people. And they don't even realize that they're being manipulated by bad forces. And I just see that. I saw that video of that couple crying, and I saw the video of them with their animals, and I saw myself in that. You know what I mean? These people that find happiness and love in caring for animals, whether it be animals that were rejected and they're rescuing, or whether it be me, taking care of animals that I bred for people's homes and families. And I just see these people who just have love in their hearts for animals. And then I see them suffering, and I see them crying. And I know that people caused that. People that probably thought that they are better people than them. And that they were gonna, that it just, and I just wish that the percentage of people that are like that is very minimal. But we also don't call them out when we see them either. You know what I mean? When we see somebody, on Facebook who makes a post about somebody and is like, well, I don't know about this, or anybody who's going out and not minding their own business. And it's like, people tolerate it, they look at it, they kind of participate in it. And we need to stop that. You know what I mean? We need to start calling these people out and shutting them down, because it's not a victimless crime. You know what I mean? Those animals that were euthanized are the victims of people like that. And it's just something to be aware of, and that we need to be better about calling these people out and shutting them down and not giving them a platform, not giving them a safe place to spew their hate and fear and their vitriol. And it's time that we shut haters down, that we shut trolls down. And I just think it is. I think that this is a sign, because millions of people, not only that, but the animals, like that squirrel, Peanut, and that raccoon, they generated so many views that it was able to fund a rescue. And all these animals were benefiting. And now that content is gone. That revenue stream is gone. And so not only do those animals suffer by being euthanized, but on top of it, the other animals that are in that rescue are equally as vulnerable to suffering now, because what's going to happen if that revenue stream doesn't somehow pick back up? Sure, everyone's paying attention now and donating now, but for how long will that last? You know what I mean? How long will it last? Who knows? Will it be enough? I doubt it. And for what? Just so that somebody could feel good about turning somebody in for having a wild animal in their home. Apparently they were trying to say it was like a rabies risk. Just so dumb and idiotic. Any animal can get rabies. You know what I'm saying? A dog can get rabies. A dog is a rabies risk. And so, I don't know. It's been a hard month. And it's been hard for me. It's been hard for other people. What's up, Smurf and Turf? And I just wish that it didn't have to be that way. So anyway, I will get y'all video of them puppies, man. They are awesome. Structure. Hey, pretty girl. What you doing, funny girl? What you doing, funny girl? They're beautiful puppies. Really, really traditional. Really beautiful puppies. I'm very happy about them, and I'm very blessed about it. And it looks like Kimchi's pregnant. Those will be Grimm babies, and then hopefully, can't quite tell if Roxy's pregnant or not. She looks like it, and those will be more primo puppies if she is, which I don't know. I'm gonna do an ultrasound tonight, so we'll find out. So, and then I'm expecting my first bully litter out of Cali. Those are Tommy Boy puppies in there. So, good things are happening, and like I said, I think I finally found, hopefully the one, but I definitely found somebody that I feel that I have a genuine affection for, and I'm really very hopeful in a way that I haven't been in at all. So good things, bad things. It was really hard to have to put those dogs down, but it was the right thing to do, and I know that. But simultaneously, it doesn't make it any easier. And I will say that I know that people, anytime I say something, anytime I'm open about the reality of breeding these big old dogs, like hip dysplasia and stuff like that, there's people, like I said, the haters that want to jump on that and be like, ooh, see, she's breeding sick dogs, blah, blah, blah. As though the rest of the world isn't breeding the same damn lines that I am, pardon my French. And what I can tell you is I'm going to put up a screenshot right here of a study that was just published. It's brand new. I think it's either 2021 or 2022, something like that. And that is going over the current Canadian and American rates of hip dysplasia in Corso. And now, even now, after years of health testing and working on it, still 50% of all Corso tested have hip dysplasia of some form or fashion. Now, it used to be 70%. And I was talking with my mentor, and he said that actually hasn't changed. He said that the thing that changed is that now they're able to opt out. And I know that because I've also done it. Like, I only did OFA hips on Preacher, but I didn't know what they were going to be. And so you don't know, you don't have that option, and they do it before they do the testing. So I didn't know what his hips were going to be, and I know how catty breeders are and stuff like that. I didn't want nobody talking about me, so I literally opted out. It turns out he's got great hips, although through OFA fair, because OFA rates our hips against other breeds, and it's just really not fair for our breed because they shouldn't be compared with other breeds because our hips are just not comparable. Come on, back over here. Hey, both of you get back over here now. Memphis! Let's go. Both of you move it over here. Memphis, now. I tell y'all, he's getting into his stubborn stage right now. Come on. Good girl, Smurf. Good girl. Good girl, Chupacabra. Good girl. You get him, Asia. That's your son. You get that boy. He's getting big, y'all. He's like 7 months old. He's about as tall as his mama is. He's really pretty. Really pretty dog. You're a pretty man, Memphis. Who's a pretty man? You're a bastard, though. You don't listen to nothing. I'm gonna have to work with him. So anyway, hey, where'd you get that from, Switch? Dang, I feel like I'm constantly picking up trash after these dang dogs. But anyway, I'm gonna put up a screenshot from that study just so y'all can see. I'm honest about it with y'all, and actually I have, if you were to consider that 50% of all of them tested have hip dysplasia, and you would see my results, and I've posted my results. I will say that I'm more on getting x-rays now, that's what I do. I go to my vet, I get x-rays to find out if there's dysplasia or not. I don't do OFA anymore, and I don't waste my time on pen hip. Now, if I had a stud and if I had a dog I was out there showing, and you know, that like I would get it done just for other people, you know what I mean? Like I did with Preacher for stud service and stuff. People are going to want that. But just for me and my breeding program, you know, a dog either has good hips or it doesn't. People who don't know any better, who just read stuff on the internet and don't actually have years of experience of breeding dogs, maybe hobby breeders would say they just don't have the experience. But when you've looked at enough hips, you get to where you know, all right, those are good hips, these are bad, you know what I mean? Or these are okay hips, right? Like you just get to that point. So for me, I trust my vet. We've been doing really good, and I have better rates. I do not have, when I am testing my dogs do not have a 50% fail rate. So, and that's what my mentor and I were talking about it, because I was in a shambles when it came to Brienne. I was really starting to question things and get in my feelings. And he was like, Rachel, he's like, you are doing better than the average, you know? And he says, you're never going to have perfect, no matter how much people try to, you know, fault you or whatever. He's like, the reality is this 70% of Corso fail. And he said, now they're saying 50, but he was like, I think it's because they're not opting in. Because I will say that they did 3 different graphs, and from one to there's the first one was 70, the next one was like over 50%, and then the next one was like 50%. To jump from 70 to 50 is a huge jump, and it's not been represented again. So it does make me think that what he's saying is right. There's no way, if it was possible to make it change from 70 to 50%, then why did it not change from 50 or from over 50 to weight? You know what I mean? We don't see that result. We see that it was a very minuscule amount from the second and the third graph. So anyway, you know, so I'm trying, like I said, I you know, society, everything, people want to make you think that you're doing bad by that, but it's just because people aren't honest about it. And for good reason, right? Because people will use it as ammunition to hurt other people. You know what I mean? When a breeder is honest about producing hip dysplasia, everyone goes around talking about it as though they don't produce it. And it's just not true. The breed average is what it is. You know what I mean? That means that, you know, even with pen hip, you know, 50, or well, the average is 0.55 of an index, right? And so all of my dogs have had tighter hips than that. You know what I mean? So I'm not even breeding the average. And yet, because I will produce hip dysplasia from time to time, people will try to act like it's a big deal, but it's only because I'm honest about it. And then people are like, they want to use that as ammunition to hurt me so that they can then sell their dogs, as if they don't have those same issues. But the average is the average. It is what it is. And I'm going to post it up just so y'all can see it, that, you know, I don't have 50% fail rate. Therefore, I have better hips than average. So regardless of what anybody says, we're actually running a very healthy program over here. So anyway, I'm going to put that up at the end of this video. And I'm sorry it's taken me so long to upload, but like I said, I've just had to learn that I have to protect myself, my emotions, and my peace of mind. And nothing is more valuable than that. No amount of money that I could make off of YouTube is more important than my own sense of self and my peace of mind. And that's why I just couldn't talk about it until I knew that I was at a point where it didn't matter what anybody said, that I was going to be fine. So anyway, I hope y'all are having a good day, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.